We often say in fund development that our mission is win, keep, lift. We are typically pretty good at winning new partners, and if you're taking time to listen to this, then I assume that you care enough to have kept your partners engaged well. But that last part, lifting, is often the hardest to actualize. In the alumni strategy, it's also arguably the most important because lifting is where we truly reap the harvest that we've been laboring for all this time. Put simply, the harvesting stage involves lifting current partners to new levels of partnership when the time is right. There are three main options to consider as you create a plan for how to lift each partner: a monthly increase, a special gift, and a volunteer opportunity. Let's take a quick look at each of these to understand their place in the harvesting stage. Option one is a monthly increase. If you're a supported missionary, there's a good chance that this is the first place your mind goes to. It's easy to ask for. It's relatively simple for the partner to just go in and change that $10 a month to $25 a month. This serves well as a generic option for when you're not sure what to ask for. If you haven't gotten to know the partner very well, or you don't have a great sense of their passions and ministry, a monthly increase may be the right way to go. And it's appropriate if the last increase was more than 12 months ago. Some things to note about the monthly increase. First is that it's easy to cast vision. You can tell them, listen, you can have the same impact, just bigger. But the other side of that coin is that it is limited in scope. If you're using a legacy fund, they're just going to increase giving to the same fund, so that money won't be able to use for anything outside of the parameters of the legacy fund. And the last thing is that it's really a vision for a long-term gain, which is great, but it also means that it won't help you if you have any huge immediate funding needs. Option two is the special gift. For the alumni strategy, this should be your bread and butter option. Whenever possible, you should ask for a larger special gift rather than a monthly increase. You spent all of your time up to this point nourishing the relationship with these partners, learning each person's capacity and inclination. So using that knowledge, you can ask for a specific number that you believe they can give for a specific cause that you know they care about. When you can align an ask to a partner's passions, they're going to be willing to give a far more significant gift. Don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with asking for a monthly gift, but the math is just in favor of a special gift, in my opinion. Consider this scenario. Lucas is a student who graduated from your movement 5 years ago, and he's been giving $10 a month to the Legacy Fund for a couple years now. He has also come to a couple alumni events. He's always excited to hear about the ministry, and so you think, I think I need to challenge Lucas to partner with us a little bit deeper. Now, Lucas does have the capacity to give more monthly. You could ask him to increase to $25 a month, and he would probably say yes. But you've noted in your MPDX that Lucas attended a spring break trip his sophomore year, and that's actually where he accepted Christ. And the following 2 years after that, he went back on that spring break trip, and he recruited others to come with him. He was just a champion for the spring break trip. Now, which would you rather do? You could ask Lucas for an extra $15 a month, $180 a year, and he'll probably say yes. Or you could meet with Lucas and ask him to scholarship 2 students to attend this year's spring break trip. Let's say that's $250 a student. You're asking for $500. Not only does that second option provide a much larger gift, $500 instead of $15 a month, but it opens the door to larger gifts in the future, so you can ask Lucas in the future for another $500. It also it engages Lucas's heart, and it enables him to live out his faith in a new, meaningful way. Some things to note about the special gift. First is that it gives you significant funding right now. Next month, Lucas could either give $15 more next month, or he could give $500. It also lifts donors to higher levels of partnership. It can be used to fund any need, unlike monthly. So it's not bound by the scope of your legacy fund. If you have a big need that's not covered by the legacy fund, this is a good way to fund it. And it serves our partners well by allowing them to impact the movement in a way that is meaningful to them and aligns to their capacity and inclination. Okay, so the third option, the third thing you could ask them for is a volunteer opportunity. It's super important that you remember each of your partners is more than an ATM. They're not just a place that you go to when you need some quick cash. Our partners have emotions, hopes, passions, and their own relationship with Christ, who is calling them to live out their faith in various ways. No matter a partner's giving capacity, there should always be some consideration of what they bring to the table as a volunteer. Think again about Lucas. What if his story was the same, but you knew that he wasn't in a place to give more than he was currently giving? He still has the same passion for spring break trips, so maybe you could find a way for him to serve your movement by giving in a non-financial way. Maybe Lucas could come to share his spring break testimony at a weekly meeting and recruit more students to come. Or maybe Lucas could actually come to your spring break trip as a volunteer. Or maybe he could help to plan the logistics for the trip. There are so many options. This often isn't an either or. Maybe your alumni can be challenged to increase their giving and asked to volunteer in some small way. Some things to note about volunteer opportunities are that they increase your overall ability as a team. You just have more manpower, so you can do more. It also allows opportunities for partners to live out their faith in the way that God has called them to. And it paves the way for increased giving in the future. Lucas might not be able to give more now, but if he volunteers, he gets really involved. You never know. Down the line, he will be more inclined to give a larger gift due to his volunteership. Okay, so as you consider challenging your alumni, or really any partners, you should take time to consider which combination of these three opportunities is best for each individual. For some of your key partners, you may decide to actually present all three options. You ask them for a small increase, a meaningful special gift, and a new way to volunteer. It all depends. Handling this process well can dramatically help your team by providing increased funding and manpower, but it also helps your partners by creating opportunities for them to live out their calling and passions as Christ followers.